but obviously computers, iPads, thumb drives, everything.
Were you scheduled to go back to Colorado shortly thereafter?
My flight was on Friday, and I had thought that the symposium was going through midday Friday, and I was going to come back Friday afternoon. I don't know whether it was really planned the way it was or not, but it was winding up fairly early on Thursday.
So did you come home on Thursday the 12th or wait till Friday the 13th?
My flight was on Friday, but with all the turmoil going on and my family was distressed, wondering what was going on, and there were lots of questions. We were spending a lot of time on the phone talking back and forth. So there was the group of people I was there with were coming back on that Thursday, and I had heard that they were coming back on Mike Lindell's private plane, that he was flying certain people back, and so I inquired if there was an extra seat so I could get back a day early.
Was an extra seat available for you?
I was told later, yes, there was. It took about a couple of hours for someone to come back and say, yes, there actually is an extra seat.
At the time that private flight had an extra seat available for you, had it been brought to your attention that there were allegations that your name was associated with having been in the trusted build that was done at Mesa County's clerk's office on Tuesday, May 25th, 2021, and actually the Sunday before, the 23rd?
The only one that I recall was our Secretary of State, Jenna Griswold, saying that.
All right. So at that point, you still didn't have a lot of the information. Is that accurate?
Correct.
When you got back home, what did it feel like to be in your home following the search warrant being executed?
A relief, a little bit like I was in a movie. Something weird was going on. I got home. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, if authorities would know that I was on this plane and if I would be arrested as I landed. I didn't know what was going to happen. Was pleased that I was able to walk off the plane and meet my wife and get in a car and drive home without any interruption. And then we were going out for the evening. I don't remember what we were doing exactly, going to dinner or something, but we were leaving the house when a deputy pulled up in the driveway and gave our kids their phones back.
Was that unexpected to have a sheriff's deputy?
It was. And I was sitting in the passenger front seat of the car, and I remember he looked at me. I think he recognized that I was there, and I put thoughts in his head, but probably thought, it's like, oh, I didn't expect him back yet.
At some point, did you start developing or learning of more information about the use of your name, the use of your personal identifying information in relation to the trusted build that had occurred 3 months earlier in the clerk's office, culminating on the 25th and 26th of May, 2021?
Yeah, I'd call it kind of a trickle process of hearing a little bit here, hearing a little bit there, learning some things, hearing speculation, hearing possible fact. Nothing was really confirmed for a while.
What impact or effect did that trickle of information and news have on you in terms of your comfort level?
I'm not sure how to answer that, comfort level, but it certainly kept us guessing, and it caused us to kind of evolve what we were thinking about it and how what was really happening and who was telling the truth and who was telling not.
Did you have any worry about potential legal consequences that could come your way because of these allegations?
I did, right from the start.
Were they including potential criminal exposure?
Yes.
Potential civil liability?
Yeah, all of it.
And
questions about what it really meant, and if it was a setup, if my name was planted, if evidence was planted, who knows what it was at the time. Yeah, lots of questions about how that would impact.
So based
myself
on
and my
that
family.
uncertainty and concern about potential liability in the legal system, did you have to do anything like consider retaining counsel to look out for your interest?
Yes. In fact, in South Dakota, I started asking about that. Started asking, I don't know what to do here. I've never had to hire an attorney. I don't know what's involved. I don't even know how to evaluate one. But I started asking people and saying, do you know anything? Do you know anybody? Just knowing someone who could recommend someone would be a good thing. And so, yeah, I started looking into it immediately.
Okay. How many months were you kind of under the public microscope of being a person of interest in the allegations that are at issue in this trial today?
To my recollection, from that moment when everything blew up to probably about the time of the grand jury.
And during that time period, closer to the investigation that you called the grand jury in February of 2022,
Yes.
were you distancing yourself from some of your prior friends and associates?
I don't think it had started just yet. I think that was later. Throughout the spring of 2022, after the grand jury, I started getting slandered by Ms. Peters and various people and publicly. And I was looking into my options for that. And then I believe it was toward the end of summer, I think around August or so, when we really distanced ourselves, when everything kind of fell apart in the Stand for the Constitution group.
August of 2020.
2, I believe.
Okay. Before we head towards wrapping up your direct examination, and thank you for your patience, sir, I briefly want to touch upon your time in South Dakota, understanding there's lots of news, lots of distractions. I can only imagine how complex and confusing it was for you. But were you still participating in the symposium?
Off and on, yes. I spent a good amount of time, what they call in the green room or backstage, talking with people, hanging out with my friends, kind of monitoring things. But as one of the cyber experts, we were kind of set back in another room, not really paying attention to what was going on in the symposium, as we were given what was at first declared to be evidence of the election fraud, which turned out was not quite that.
It wasn't persuasive for you?
No, the first thing that we were given, we were told a lot of things going in, that we'd be able to look at data but not take it home, not be able to download it or anything like that, and then there would be a special environment set up to examine the data, which it was just handed to us when we walked in, put on our computers. But it was, the first thing we were given was supposed, what they call packet captures, network traffic, that proved that there was international interference hacking our election. And it took us, these people with various IT and computer backgrounds, about 6-7 minutes to look at it and say this isn't anything, because it was missing key information that would validate it and prove that it was right, it was valid or not valid. So without that information, it couldn't be proved true or false. It wasn't worth our time.
At any point in time leading up to May 25th, 2021, did you give any permission to have your identity used for unlawful purposes or for any purpose? Did you give Tina Peters that authority, that permission?
I assume you mean used by someone else?
Yes.
No, I did not.
Did you give her your consent to have your identity used by somebody else?
I did not.
Did you give it any permission to Belinda Knisley for your identity to be used by somebody else?
No, I did not.
Or Sandy Brown?
No.
Have you ever met a person by the name of Conan James Hayes?
I don't believe so. I know Miss Peters has stated that I met him at the symposium. I have no recollection of that. I rubbed elbows with a lot of people standing in line with food, had a lot of conversations. I don't recall ever meeting someone with that name, but he could very well have been there for all I know. There were a lot of people there.
Did you give any permission or authorization to Tina Peters to have the badge that was issued by Mesa County government to be used by somebody other than you?
No.
And to this day, have you ever seen that badge since you gave it to Belinda Nisley on or about May 19th, 2021?
The physical badge, I don't believe so. I've seen a picture when it was shown to me at the grand jury, I believe.
Have you ever seen any records of when that badge was used as captured by Mesa County government records? It's an awkward question, but are you?
It is an awkward question. I think I saw again, on a screen, a printout of access times during the grand jury testimony. I don't recall for sure, but I think it was there.
Mr. Wood, just wait a moment, I'm going to check with my colleagues.
No?
Mr. Wood, I want to thank you for coming today,
Thank you.
honoring your subpoena. I have no further questions for you on direct examination. I expect defense counsel to have some questions on cross-examination. Thank you again, sir.
Thank you.
Mr.
Your
Crace.
Honor, may we approach for a minute, please?
Oh, okay, sure.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to go in and take our mid-afternoon break now, just a little bit early. We'll come back at 2:45 for the resumption of testimony and evidence. Please keep in mind the admonishment I've given you. All rise for the jury, please. Sorry. Go ahead and take a seat, Mr. Wood. I think the attorneys may want to ask you some questions,
Okay.
so you can head on out, and they'll let you know if they have questions for you.
Okay.
But we'll just have him.
I'm excited to announce we're having a huge MyPillow summer sale. And here's a few examples. Buy one of our MyPillow 2.0s, you get another MyPillow 2.0 absolutely free. Made with cooling technology, the best pillow ever just got even better. And this just in, 9 brand new colors and styles of our Percale bed sheets. They're made with the finest long staple cotton, and now you can save 50% or more. That's as low as $24.98. And for the first time this year, I'm bringing you our My Slippers and Sandals for as low as $25 a pair. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get your MyPillow 2.0s. Buy one, get one free. Percale sheets as low as $24.98. My Slippers and Sandals as low as $25 a pair. And for a limited time, when you order $75 or more, your entire order ships absolutely free.
Mike Lindell here, and like you, I see our country being destroyed daily. We face massive economic issues, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, there are people in power who threaten the values that have made our country great. Well, I've been a believer in gold and silver for a long time, and I've searched for years for a partner that shares my values. Well, Genesis Gold Group showed me how easy it is to protect your IRA, 401k, or your retirement with gold and silver. Their faith-driven approach to service and stewardship is one that stands out from the rest. So call Genesis Gold Group now at 1-800-200-GOLD. That's 1-800-200-4653, or go to LindellGoldRush.com now.
Exciting news to share with you today. Scientists recently discovered a well-known nutrient that dramatically reduces joint pain, fights inflammation, and improves your joint, heart, and brain health in as little as 7 days. The best part? Unlike ibuprofen and painkillers, this food has no side effects. In fact, just the opposite. It also protects your heart and helps prevent memory loss. Better yet, for a limited time, you can grab Native Path Inarctic Krill Oil for as low as $19 a bottle. Just go to getkrill.com/Lindell right now to get your special offer for being a part of Lindell TV's audience. Learn more at getkrill.com/Lindell.
Introducing the all-new Prepper Bar. These 62.2 gram bars, perforated and easily broken into 3 denominations, will fit all of your needs. Perfect for asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or use it for bartering or trade. Prepper bars make an ideal gift for precious metal lovers. Available in gold and silver, these slim Prepper bars fit neatly into your wallet and can be used in any situation. As gold and silver prices surge and economists predict shortages, now is the time to secure your precious metals with Prepper bars. The only bar divisible into 3 different sizes for maximum utility, tradability, and proudly mined and minted in the United States, these Prepper bars are IRA eligible and will help you diversify your wealth. To order your own Prepper bars, go to www.frankspeechbar.com. That's www.frankspeechbar.com.
I'm excited to announce we're having a huge MyPillow summer sale. And here's a few examples. Buy one of our MyPillow 2.0s, you get another MyPillow 2.0 absolutely free. Made with cooling technology, the best pillow ever just got even better. And this just in, 9 brand new colors and styles of our Percale bed sheets. They're made with the finest long staple cotton, and now you can save 50% or more. That's as low as $24.98. And for the first time this year, I'm bringing you our My Slippers and Sandals for as low as $25 a pair. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get your MyPillow 2.0s. Buy one, get one free. Percale sheets as low as $24.98. My Slippers and Sandals as low as $25 a pair. And for a limited time, when you order $75 or more, your entire order ships absolutely free.
Mike Lindell here, and like you, I see our country being destroyed daily. We face massive economic issues, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, there are people in power who threaten the values that have made our country great. Well, I've been a believer in gold and silver for a long time, and I've searched for years for a partner that shares my values. Well, Genesis Gold Group showed me how easy it is to protect your IRA, 401k, or your retirement with gold and silver. Their faith-driven approach to service and stewardship is one that stands out from the rest. So call Genesis Gold Group now at 1-800-200-GOLD. That's 1-800-200-4653, or go to LindellGoldRush.com now.
Exciting news to share with you today. Scientists recently discovered a well-known nutrient that dramatically reduces joint pain, fights inflammation, and improves your joint, heart, and brain health in as little as 7 days. The best part? Unlike ibuprofen and painkillers, this food has no side effects. In fact, just the opposite. It also protects your heart and helps prevent memory loss. Better yet, for a limited time, you can grab Native Path Inarctic Krill Oil for as low as $19 a bottle. Just go to getkrill.com/Lindell right now to get your special offer for being a part of Lindell TV's audience. Learn more at getkrill.com/Lindell.
Introducing the all-new Prepper Bar. These 62.2 gram bars, perforated and easily broken into 3 denominations, will fit all of your needs. Perfect for asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or use it for bartering or trade. Prepper bars make an ideal gift for precious metal lovers. Available in gold and silver, these slim Prepper bars fit neatly into your wallet and can be used in any situation. As gold and silver prices surge and economists predict shortages, now is the time to secure your precious metals with Prepper bars. The only bar divisible into 3 different sizes for maximum utility, tradability, and proudly mined and minted in the United States, these Prepper bars are IRA eligible and will help you diversify your wealth. To order your own Prepper bars, go to www.frankspeechbar.com. That's www.frankspeechbar.com.
Mr. Wood, you can go ahead and take the witness stand, please. The parties are present. Are we ready to go forward, Mr. Shapiro?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Case, ready to go forward?
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and bring the jury in. Go ahead and take a seat, everyone. Thank you. Just turned 3 o'clock. I know we're a little bit late. I promise we were productive while you were on break, such that we can move forward here efficiently. We're going to turn it over to Mr. Case in the cross-examination. Mr. Wood, I remind you, sir, that you're still under oath. Yes. Mr. Case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Wood.
Good afternoon.
Is this okay?
I can hear it.
I want to talk to you first about your certainty that you never talked to Tina Peters or Sharona Bishop between May the 19th and May the 25th, 2021.
Okay.
Do you recall that testimony you gave?
I do.
And are you certain that between the 19th of May, 2021 and the 25th of May, 2021, you never spoke by email, text, phone, any communication with either Tina Peters or Sharona Bishop?
From the time that we parted at the clerk's office until then,
Yes.
fairly certain.
Now, I've listened to your testimony today, and I've read your testimony before the grand jury. And I just want to see if this would be a fair summary of your testimony. Number one, you were not present for the imaging on May the 23rd.
Correct.
And as you just told us, you did not have any contact with Clerk Peters or Sharona Bishop or anyone from the clerk's office after May the 19th, 2021, when you left the clerk's office, and before or including May the 25th.
That is my recollection, yes.
Now, I asked you if you were certain. Are you certain?
I have reason to be certain, and yes, I am certain.
And you never gave permission for anyone else to use your key card.
Correct.
And you did not know anything about the plan to use your key card to bring in Cohn and Hayes.
I did not.
And that's also a fair summary of your testimony to the grand jury.
Yes, I believe that is.
And the grand jury testimony, that's the testimony that you would not provide without an immunity agreement. True?
I don't know if that's accurate to say.
Well, before you testified in front of the grand jury, did you sign an immunity agreement with the government?
I did.
And did you refuse to testify until you had immunity?
I don't recall it going that way.
You got a subpoena to testify before the grand jury?
I did.
And after you got the subpoena, did you sign the immunity agreement?
I don't recall the order.
Now, do you know what Signal is?
I do.
What is it?
It's a communication platform that is touted to be private.
Objection beyond the scope of my direct in terms of signal.
I'm going to overrule for now. I'll see where it goes. And the answer stands.
I'm sorry, I missed the answer because of the objection.
Go ahead.
Okay. It's a communication platform, a lot like texting. You can do group text, individual text, but it's touted as being private.
It's private because it is encrypted?
That's what they say.
Yeah. And what
I
is
have never validated the encryption. I don't know.
I'm sorry?
I can't vouch for the level of encryption and the quality of it, but they claim it's encrypted.
And what does encrypted mean?
Well, it can mean a lot of things. Encrypted means that the data is, most people would think obfuscated, but it is scrambled so that you have to have the right password, the right key to unlock it and be able to read it.
Can group chats be created on Signal?
They can.
And in a Signal group chat, can multiple people message each other in the same text thread?
Yes, they can.
And is membership in that group restricted to the people who are included in the group setup?
It can be. It can be open and it can be closed.
Right. And an entire group that's in this text thread can be given a custom name like Broncos football?
Sure.
In 2021, was your cell phone number 719-930-0265?
Your Honor, for the record, that phone number has just been given out to the world. I would have preferred counsel be a little more tactful in how he questioned the witness regarding his cell phone.
Oh, all right. When it comes to personal identifying information of that nature, next time let's approach, please. But you can answer the question.
Yes, it was.
And in 2021, were you using Signal on that cell phone number?
I was.
And within Signal, did you can give yourself a custom name, true?
Yes.
And in 2021, did you use the handle Trebuchet? That's Trebuchet. Trebuchet. As your
I have used that name. I don't recall if that was my Signal handle.
Would it refresh your recollection to look at a Signal chat from May of 2021?
Sure.
You can approach.
Sir, is this the whole?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sir, is this the whole exhibit?
No.
Can I see the whole
I'm going to
exhibit?
do it page by page. I'll show it to you as I offer it to the witness.
You can approach. This is just
Thank you.
to refresh recollection at this time.
Have you looked at the exhibit?
I have.
Does it have your phone number on it?
It does.
Does it have your signal handle, trebuchet?
Yes.
Does it have the date of May 13, 2021 on it?
I don't see a date on it.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
right below Tech Team at the top left.
Oh, I couldn't see it in the angle. May 13th, 2021, yes.
Yes, and that is about the time that you testified that you first heard or first talked to Sharona Bishop and Tina Peters about helping them with computer software and technical assistance.
It
True?
would have been about that time, yes.
Yes. Now, what does trebuchet mean?
It is a medieval siege engine for throwing rocks to a great distance.
And why did you choose that name?
I like the physics of it.
Can you tell us who were the members of Tech Team on May the 13th of 2021?
I do not know.
Would it refresh your recollection to look at the next page of this text thread?
It's possible.
Sorry. May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm showing you, I showed you before A009.
Mm-hmm.
And this page is labeled A008.
Okay. Does that mean it comes before?
Yes. I'm sorry, Your Honor, so the chronology is clear. The oldest text is A009, and it's going to proceed.
Okay, that it's not an exhibit yet, so okay.
All
It's
right.
just being used to refresh his recollection.
explaining.
That's fine.
Does that refresh your recollection looking at A008?
I can't say it refreshes my recollection, but it looks like a text thread that I was on.
A text thread called,
Well, a signal, whatever, yeah.
called Tech Team, correct?
Yes.
For the reporter, that's TECHTEAM, Tech Team. And it has a date on it of May 13, 2021,
That's what it says.
and it says Tech Team 3 members. True?
Okay.
Is that true?
It does say 3 members, yes.
Yes. And then it says Sharona Bishop added you to the group. True?
It does say that.
And then Sharona Bishop says, Tina, this is our guy. True?
That's what it says.
And then there's a message here from you, isn't there? From Trebuchet.
It says, yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to object regarding improper foundation, lack of authentication. We're talking about an exhibit that's not even been admitted yet.
Right, so the exhibit isn't admitted yet, so it's improper to be reading
Right.
from it.
So, Mr. Wood, you can identify Exhibit A008 as part of a text thread that you were a member of on Signal with Tina Peters and Sharona Bishop. True?
I don't know. I don't have any recollection of that.
Well, you acknowledged that you were a member of the Tech Team chat group on Signal. True?
I thought I acknowledged that it appears that way from what I'm seeing.
Yes. And you have no recollection of participating in such a group?
I don't.
Once again, is your phone number 930-0265.
I'm gonna object. Lack of foundation, irrelevant, has not been authenticated, and he's testifying.
It's been asked and answered.
So does it refresh your recollection that someone named Trebuchet, in response to the message, Tina, this is our guy, somebody named Trebuchet said,
Your Honor, again,
This is not how
It's improper
refreshing of
foundation.
recollection works, Mr. Case. So, let's move on.
may I approach, please?
Yes.
You're looking at exhibit number A007. True?
It does say A007.
And again, at the top, it says tech team.
It does?
Your Honor, again, I'm gonna object. If he wants to
Can
lay
we,
the
can we
foundation.
have council approach? Let's talk about this up here.
May I approach, please?
Yes.
Just a second.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Wood, would you take a look at the exhibit that is in front of you, which is labeled Defendant's Exhibit 001, pages 1 through 9?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have you looked at all the pages? And I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong identification. It is Exhibit A, as in alpha, pages 1 through 9.
Okay. I thought that's what you said, but it's all right.
Have you now looked at all the pages?
I have.
Can you identify Exhibit A as the tech team chat on Signal between yourself as Trebuchet, Tina Peters, the clerk and recorder, and Sharona Bishop?
I can say that you have what looks like screenshots of it. I don't know. I don't recall any of this.
Well, what do you mean screenshots of it?
You have screenshots of text messages that you are claiming are between us. Is this not a screenshot?
I don't know. I'm not a software engineer, but
All right.
if you say so, I'll take your word.
I don't think that's a technical term.
Okay, I don't know. Is that a screenshot?
I guess the question is that, can you identify that as a communication that you had with those people identified in the exhibit? Do you know if you were a party to that conversation?
I don't recall this conversation.
Okay.
So that means you cannot identify Exhibit A?
Yes, I cannot identify it.
Were you part of a group known as the Tech Team? Do you recall that?
I don't recall any of this.
So you said that in early April 2021, you received a call from Sharona Bishop.
I think I testified, or I believe it was early May. I may have said late April in the grand jury testimony or something, but it was somewhere in that time frame.
And you learned that Clerk Peters needed a person to help out with IT work around the office.
That was it, yes.
Do you know of anybody other than yourself who uses the name Trebuchet?
I know other people who like the idea and can build them. I don't know anyone else, no. But I do know that I have an email address that uses that name, and I had to put numbers on the end because other people were using it. There's quite a lot of trebuchets out there as IDs.
Well, do you know anyone who went to the symposium that uses the name Trebuchet?
As far as I know, no one else. But
Do you know-
I don't know everyone at the symposium.
Right. Do you know anyone else in the Grand Junction area that uses the name Trebuchet?
Objection, speculation, and relevance.
I'll allow him to answer the question if he knows it.
I don't have any knowledge of anyone else.
Did you ever show Exhibit A to the government?
No.
So when you got your key card from the county, do you recall what day that was?
My recollection was it would have been the Wednesday or Thursday before the 23rd, so it would have been the 9th. Wednesday would be the 19th or Thursday the 20th. That is my recollection.
Does it refresh your recollection to look at page A6 of Exhibit A?
I noticed that when I was reading through.
What did you notice?
I noticed that it's dated May 14th, but that's not what I recall.
And what does it say?
Your
It
Honor,
said-
it's improper foundation for refreshing recollection.
Yes, it is. Is his memory refreshed or not? Is the
Well,
question.
now that you've, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
That's okay, go ahead.
Now that you've looked at page A6 of Exhibit A, does it refresh your recollection that you told Tina Peters and Sharona Bishop, quote, I have
I'm
my,
sorry,
ma-
I'm sorry,
Objection,
Mr.
continuing
Case.
objection.
All right, Mr. Case, please don't read from the document. The question is your memory refreshed from reading the document? And then he can answer it.
oh yeah, oh, thank you, Your Honor. Is your memory refreshed from reading page A6?
This is not how I remember it.
So is that a yes or a no?
It does not refresh my memory.
Do you know who Sandy is?
I would guess at this point, I don't think I did at the time. I think that there is Sandy or Sandra in the clerk's office, but
Your Honor, I'm going to object. Question calls for speculation as evidenced by the answer. I'd ask that.
It's overruled. You can go ahead. If you know, you know.
I don't know anyone with that spelling of their name. It's an odd spelling.
What spelling?
You said Sandy. I don't know which page that's on.
And you can just flip that upside down. We're not actually referring to that anymore. That's not up there for your
Okay.
reference unless I give you permission to look at it.
I don't know anyone with that name that I can recall having that spelling.
I think initially you thought it referred to Sandra Brown.
That's what I would guess. I don't think I knew her at that time.
Your Honor, again, this is irrelevant at this point, lack of foundation, and again, I'd ask that Mr. Woods simply turn the documents over and not be distracted by them.
Okay.
Yes, please. Thank you. Let's move on to the next question, please. I'm not following the relevance at this point if we're not getting this exhibit admitted.
What's our last MM exhibit? The highest letter?
113. I'm sorry, 13.
MM 13?
MM 13. So 14 would be. Over 215,
And
sorry.
then 7 is for the basketball.
MM 15. You guys have this, right?
Yes. Yep, we're familiar with that. Okay, thanks.
Are we approaching
Yeah,
this?
approaching.
Yes,
Thank you.
yeah.
I knew when I stepped to the line,
It's okay.
there you go. I'm showing you exhibit MM, as in Mike, 15. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is it?
It looks like the, what do you call it, limited use agreement?
Could you look at page 2?
I can.
Did you sign on page 2, exhibit MM 15?
Your Honor, the people will stipulate to MM 15 as a limited use agreement executed between the defendant, his attorney, and the district attorney.
MM 15 is so admitted. You can continue to ask questions, though.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, before you, the date of your testimony to the grand jury was February 20th, is that correct?
I don't remember the exact date.
22?
It was February of '22. I don't remember the exact date.
It was after the date of this agreement, true?
Yes.
And this agreement was signed February the 17th of 2022, true?
Yes.
Now, when you were going to testify before the grand jury, you knew that Mr. Rubenstein, the district attorney, wanted to ask you questions about the events surrounding what happened at the clerk and recorder's office in May of 2021.
Yes.
And you knew that the district attorney also wanted to ask you about your attendance at the cyber symposium.
Yes.
And your testimony is still that you were not part of any plan to let anyone use your key card.
That's correct.
And your testimony is that you knew nothing about the imaging done on May 23rd and May 26th, 2021.
I don't believe I did.
In
I don't-
essence, you're completely innocent of what happened in Mesa County.
Yes, I would say I am.
And yet you refuse to testify before the grand jury without an immunity agreement.
I don't know that that's the way it went. I don't know that I refused.
The immunity agreement told you that the government was investigating people for other crimes. True?
The immunity agreement did?
Yes.
I'm not certain that it says that. Does it say that?
You just need to answer the question.
I'm not aware of that, no.
And the crimes that were listed in the immunity agreement were election crimes, true?
I guess so. I don't know what crimes it lists.
Was cyber crimes in there?
I don't know. I'm
Offenses
not reading it
related-
right now. I don't remember the exact wording.
Offenses related to criminal impersonation?
Okay?
Offenses related to official misconduct?
Okay?
And your position is, I wasn't there, I didn't know, they tricked me. Is
I
that
don't
it?
think I ever said they tricked me, but I said I wasn't there. Yes.
And yet, without this immunity agreement, you would have refused to answer questions before the grand jury based on your Fifth Amendment right, true?
Possibly.
Now, you say that you have an alibi for May the 23rd, the day the imaging was done, true?
I do have an alibi for that date, yes.
Yeah. And the alibi is that you were at a party at your house while the images were being made at the clerk's office. You were with your family at a graduation party, and you even showed us pictures.
If those were the hours that it was done, yes.
And if it wasn't those hours, if the imaging was done in the morning, in the morning you were at church where your wife is the pastor, true?
My wife and I are both pastors, yes.
Thank you. Now, would you agree with me that you would violate your immunity agreement if you lied to the government?
It would be at risk of being invalidated, yes.
And it would violate your immunity agreement if you withheld material information from them?
Yes, material information that I had, yes.
Right. And material information would be something like a text chat that you were a party to but didn't show them.
Well, I would like to point out that I didn't have any text chats at that time from that period because my phone was confiscated by the FBI. I still don't have that phone. I lost all text messages. I lost many of my contacts. I lost important birth dates, important dates. I lost a lot of things. So you're asking me to recall on memory things that I don't have in my possession.
Well, I've asked to refresh your memory with text chats with trebuchet on it, but you say you don't recognize them. True?
I don't recall those.
Now, when you talked to Clerk Peters, did she tell you that she was looking for somebody trustworthy?
At one point she did, yes.
Yes. That was when you were in her office with Belinda Nicely, true?
That was probably part of that conversation, yes.
Right. And she wanted somebody trustworthy who could make an image, a backup copy of the information on the election management server, true?
She was inquiring about the possibility of doing it, yes.
Right, because she knew that on May the 25th, the government was coming to do the trusted build. True?
Objection, speculation as to what the defendant
Right, I
knew.
understand. Sustained.
She told you that the Secretary of State, the government, was coming on May the 25th to do a trusted build.
I don't know if she mentioned the date.
Right.
She did say it was they were coming to update the system.
Right. And it was her understanding that she told you that when they did the software update, it would erase everything on the server, correct?
No, I don't think that's correct.
Well, what did she say it would erase?
I don't think she said that it would erase. I believe she said she was afraid it would erase.
All right. And did she explain that as clerk and recorder, she has a legal duty to preserve?
Your Honor, I'm going to object as to self-serving hearsay.
Sustained.
Now, you were in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for the symposium,
I was.
and you say on the way there, you heard about a Code Monkey Z broadcast,
A posting,
a posting. All right. What is a posting?
where someone takes material and they post it online.
All right. And it was posted on the Gateway Pundit, I believe you said?
I didn't say. I don't know where it was posted. It's been posted many times in many places. I don't know where it was originally posted.
May I approach you, Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, I've put in front of you a thumb drive. That's a USB drive, right?
Yeah, thumb drive is fine.
Okay. Labeled, I think it's JJ7. Could you,
Looks like, yeah, JJ-7.
thank you. Now, at the break, you had a chance to watch the video that is on that thumb drive, true?
Assuming it's the same video, yes.
Yes. And are you able to identify that video as the Code Monkey Z video that you saw before?
I don't know if it's the very same one, no. Like I said, it's been posted many times. There's been voice analysis. There's been all sorts of things done. People have edited it. I don't recall the commentary being put in there, the other things being edited in. I don't know if it's the original.
I see. So you're unable to say if you've ever seen this before today?
That
I'm
exact
sorry,
version, no.
Okay, thank you. That was what I was looking for clarification.
Now, when you were in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, you learned that your name was mentioned twice by the Colorado Secretary of State in a nationally televised press conference. True?
I assume it was nationally televised, yes.
And you knew that investigator Cannon was looking for you. True?
I was, yes.
Yes, because your wife texted you investigator Cannon's phone number. True?
I believe that's true, yes.
So you had his number, you knew he was looking for you, and you knew you were completely innocent. True?
Yes,
Did you call him?
I did not.
Now, while you were at the cyber symposium, did you get a new phone?
While I was there, no, I did not.
Well, did you start using a new phone?
No?
Are you familiar with the phone number 970?
Your Honor, hold on. Mr. Case?
Is it possible the defendant can maybe, defense counsel could maybe just do the last 4 digits or find some other more sanitized manner versus publishing the PII?
Right. So can you, let's try it a different way. Can you, and see if you can identify that as his phone.
All right. Did you start at the cyber symposium, did you start using a phone number, last 4 digits, 9100?
I don't know if that was the digits. I had a second phone at that time.
And
It was my personal phone and my work phone. I don't recall the phone number of that phone. Again, that phone has been confiscated and that number is no longer valid.
But you did start using another phone at the cyber symposium, true?
I did not start using another phone at the cyber symposium. I had that phone. It was a work phone. I had a work phone and a home phone, or personal phone.
Well, we're 0 for 2 on things I wanted you to identify, except for the immunity agreement. May I show you prosecution exhibit number 4?
You
We have no
may.
objection to approaching the witness.
All right, you may approach. You have no objection to this exhibit?
I want it to be authenticated.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't hear
It's
what you
not.
said.
It's admitted.
I think it's his copy.
No, I did not. Yeah, did I?
Exhibit 4 has not
Not
been
been,
admitted.
I didn't offer that.
I have 1, 2, 3, and 5, but not 4 yet.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Do you recognize the government exhibit number 4 as a photograph of someone you met at the cyber symposium named Conan Hayes?
I do not. It actually looks like the actor Aaron Paul right here.
Well, when the prosecution asked you if you had met Conan Hayes, I noticed that he didn't show you his picture.
Okay?
So is that the person you met? Did you meet that person at the cyber symposium? Because you said you didn't know if you had met Conan Hayes or not. And you said it's possible you did. Is
I
that
don't
a picture of
recognize
someone you
anybody
met?
in this picture.
Pardon?
If you had shown this to me before, I thought it would have been the actor Aaron Paul.
So
I
you
don't-
don't recognize that as a photograph of somebody you met at the cyber symposium?
Doesn't look familiar to me.
Now, you flew back on Mike Lindell's plane,
I did?
and were you kind of a celebrity on the plane?
I don't think that would be the right word, no.
Were you sitting next to somebody named Joe Oltman?
I was not.
Were you sitting next to somebody named Karen Siebold?
No, I was not sitting next to her.
Nearby?
It's not that big of a plane. Define nearby.
Within 10 feet?
Sure, could have been 10 feet.
Did you brag to Joe Oltman that Conan Hayes used your key card to perform the imaging?
I did not.
Did you and your wife, Wendy Wood, attend a luncheon with Laura Logan and other people when Laura Logan was out here making her movie about election integrity?
No,
You were not there?
I was not there.
Was your wife, if you know?
I believe my wife did meet Laura Logan at one point.
Now, when you traveled to South Dakota, you got there on the 9th of August. The rest of the group arrived on August 10th. True?
Monday and Tuesday, yes. I arrived Monday, they arrived Tuesday. I don't know the actual I don't have a calendar in front of me, but that sounds right.
And when you walked into the symposium, you sent a message to the group that you were part of that was going to the symposium. Let me start over. Did you become a member of a chat group with the people that were going to the symposium?
Quite possibly.
And when you walked into the symposium, did you send out a text on that chat thread to find the people who were coming from Grand Junction?
Maybe.
Did you say, "Where's my peeps"?
It's possible.
At the symposium, you spent time backstage, is that right?
Yes.
You were with the cyber group, true?
The cyber group, yes. The cyber experts, yes.
Yeah, the cyber experts.
Uh-huh.
And Conan Hayes wasn't with the cyber experts? The
Not-
cyber mercenary wasn't with the cyber experts?
Not to my knowledge.
Were you inside rooms meeting with lawyers?
I had talked to a couple of people who said they were attorneys, yes.
Yes, because after the Secretary of State's public announcement, her press conference, where your name was used, you thought you might need a lawyer, true?
Yes.
Yes. So you met with Karen Cook and Mike McCulloch for over 2 hours at the symposium, true?
I don't know the names. I don't know the time frame, but I did meet with someone and was asking for references, yes.
So Clerk Peters told you that she wanted somebody trustworthy.
Objection,
True.
asked and answered.
Sustained, that was already asked and answered.
But when you testified before the grand jury, you betrayed Clerk Peters to get immunity for yourself.
Objection, argumentative.
Sustained.
Your Honor, that's all the questions that I have at this, well, excuse me, I may have a couple more.
Okay, sure, take your time.
Yeah, so when Ms. Peters was discussing with you the possibility of you making a backup image of the voting system equipment, your understanding was that would be legal, true?
Yes. I've never heard of it not being legal to back up a computer.
Well, it is now.
Objection,
But it wasn't-
argumentative.
Sustained.
Your Honor, that's all the questions I have at this time for Mr. Wood, but we ask that he remain subject to recall after we introduce Exhibit A through other witnesses, so that it can be properly
Okay,
admitted.
if he's on your subpoena, then you can let him know. He's
Thank
not
you.
released. Any redirect, Mr. Shapiro?
Very briefly.
Okay.
Mr. Wood, at the symposium, did the name Conan Hayes come up to your knowledge?
Not to my knowledge.
The immunity agreement that was entered into with the assistance of your lawyer and the DA's office, did you receive full transactional immunity, meaning you could not be prosecuted at all? Or did you only receive limited use immunity, meaning your statements could not be used against you?
I only received a limited immunity.
Okay, so was your understanding, sir, that you still could be criminally prosecuted by the district attorney?
Yes.
And furthermore, if you were dishonest and you were testifying under oath and you were dishonest, you could be prosecuted for what crime?
For perjury, for whatever was related that I was lying about, I guess.
And if you're dishonest today, Is that still in effect?
Yes, it is.
No further questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for this witness from the jury? Doesn't look like any. All right, Mr. Wood, it sounds like you may be subject to recall. So thank you very much for your testimony here today.
Thank
You're
you.
free to go, sir.
No. Is he under your subpoena? No.
I asked the court to-
Your Honor, we're asking that he be released from his subpoena. He's not under defense subpoena.
Well, okay, you're released from the people's subpoena? If you're not under,
Thank you.
Here's a sign.
You can't serve him.
yeah, the attorney can't, okay, you're free to go. Have a good rest of your day.
I'm serving you a subpoena.
Your Honor, I'd ask the court to make a record regarding this attempted
Right.
service, which is improper.
I'm over 18, Your Honor.
You're-
I can serve.
Mr. Wood, the judge said.
I'm aware you're over 18.
Here, I'm handing this to you, sir.
All right. You can argue whether that. Easy, everyone, please. So, do we have another witness? Mr.
Yes,
Spiro?
we are. We're
Okay.
ready to call Stephanie Wendholz.
All right, thank you. And we'll go about 15 to 25 minutes or so, and then we'll break for the day. So, natural breaking point around that time, please.
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Shapiro.
We will, we understand that, and we will just try to do the early part of her testimony, and we'll complete with one playing of a audio, and we'll stop.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
If I can have counsel approach while we're waiting for Ms. Wenholtz, please. Probably should turn this. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. Oh, are those the admitted ones?
I don't know, but just, we can sort that out.
Yes, let's go ahead and sort that out later. Okay. No, that's okay, thank you. We'll circulate this. People's next witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution will now call Stephanie Wenholtz.
All right, Ms. Wenholtz.
I'm sorry. Judge, if I can approach and retrieve Ms. Drake's statute.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, it's a handy one.
Ms. Wenholtz, if you can come on up here, watch your step, there's a white strip of tape on the floor, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of law that the statements and testimony you'll give to the court today be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please take a seat over here in the black chair. And once you're seated, if you could state your state your full name and spell both your first and last name.
Okay. My name is Stephanie Wenholtz. The first name is spelled Stephanie. The last is Wenholz as in zebra.
Go ahead, Mr. Shapiro.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Wenholtz, good afternoon. Thank you for your patience on a Friday. What do you do for a living?
I am an elections administrator.
For which office, county, or jurisdiction do you work as an elections administrator?
I work for Mesa County. I am the elections manager for Mesa County.
And in Mesa County, is there just one election manager or two?
Currently, right now, there's one, but there was two.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. And what is your primary day-to-day job and duty like?
I help people register to vote. I help people understand the process of elections. I help with getting our election judges and set up vote service and polling centers. Basically, what I do is make sure that the people of Mesa County can have a successful voting experience and that the elections are secure and safe.
All told, how many years of service do you have as a professional elections administrator?
Approximately 10 years.
And of those 10 years, how many have been here in Mesa County serving Western Colorado?
I have been here in Mesa County for 4 years.
Where did you work before coming to Mesa County?
Prior to Mesa County, I worked at Arapahoe County, and I also worked at Gilpin County. So I have experience with a small county and a large county.
All right. And again, refresh our memory as to approximately when you started here in Mesa, the year.
I started in 2020.
All right. I'm going to take you forward to April 23rd of 2021. Mm-hmm. So about 16 months into your tenure here in Mesa County. Am I accurate with my math?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I have to ask because I'm a lawyer and I'm not very good with math. So I'm going to talk about that day. Is April 23rd, 2021 a memorable day in your professional life?
Yes, it is.
Why is that date so memorable to you?
That is the day that we were told to go to a symposium that Dr. Frank was holding. It's also the day that Dr. Frank came into our office and was speaking with the administration team of the elections office.
Did you have a prior knowledge or awareness of who this Dr. Frank was?
I actually did, yes.
Okay, and when you say doctor, what type of doctor are we talking about? A physician, a dentist? What are we talking about?
From my understanding, it might be a mathematician.
Okay. And were you being directed to go to some presentation involving a mathematician by the name of Dr. Frank?
Yes.
Okay. And when was this presentation supposedly set to occur that day?
It was in the evening, approximately 6 p.m., I do believe, at the time.
And where was that presentation going to happen at?
It was at the DoubleTree Hotel right off of Horizon.
Prior to that 6 p.m. presentation, did any other memorable event occur involving Dr. Frank and others that you were present for?
Yes, there was actually a meeting with Dr. Frank in our office. It was actually in Tina's office.
All right. How did you know there was a meeting that was occurring in the clerk and recorder's office on the afternoon of the 23rd of April, 2021?
So we were told that he was coming into the office and that we would be coming into this meeting one by one when it was necessary for us to come into the meeting, and I was at the end.
Were you familiar with any of the participants? When you finally went to this meeting, were you familiar with any of the players, the people who were in the meeting?
Yes, there was Belinda, who's the chief deputy, Tina, Sandy Brown, myself obviously was in there, Brandy Vance was in there, Sharona Bishop was also in there. And then I had never met Dr. Frank and then some other gentleman that I was not familiar with.
The person you identified as Tina only by first name, what is Tina's last name?
Tina Peters.
And that person was what in relation to you in a professional capacity?
She was the clerk and recorder for
And
Mesa
is-
County.
Sorry. Tina Peters, who was your clerk and recorder at the time, do you see that person in court today?
Yes, I do.
Can you please identify that person in terms of where that person is and what article of clothing you see that person wearing?
Yes, she is to my right. She is wearing a navy blue blazer with a red top.
Thank you. Your Honor, let the record reflect that Ms. Wenholz has identified the defendant subject to cross-examination.
The record will so reflect.
When you were summoned to this meeting, did you have any idea what the topic of the meeting was going to be about?
We knew about Dr. Frank. We kind of had a little bit of an idea because he had put information out about other counties. One particular county, I had a good friend there, and they were saying that the voter rolls had these phantom voters, and he was going to come in, and that was what his speech was in regards to, is phantom voters.
So just to clarify, did you or did you not actually physically attend the meeting in the clerk's office with the people you just identified?
I did actually attend the meeting. I was in the last 10 minutes.
Okay. And that particular meeting, was a recording made of that meeting?
Yes, there was.
Who made the recording?
I did.
I'm going to show defense counsel two compact disc CDRs, 22 and 22A, People's Exhibits. May I approach?
Yes.
Is there a difference? One is enhanced. Oh. Ms. Wenholz, are you familiar with People's Exhibit 22?
Yes, I am.
What does it appear to be?
It is a recording of the recording I created.
How do you know that compact disc contains the recording, a copy of the original, that you yourself made?
It is actually initialed by myself, and I've also dated it.
And the initials indicate what?
That it is authentic. I agree that this recording is authentic.
Okay, so you yourself have heard the recording on 22.
Yes, I have.
What does 22A appear to be?
22A appears to be the same recording, it's just enhanced.
And how do you know 22A contains the same recording, but it being enhanced?
I have listened to both recordings.
Okay, and did you initial and date 22A?
Yes, I have.
Okay, now in terms of 22A being enhanced, is the information, the content, the words the same on 22A as they are on 22?
Yes, they are.
Here at this time, the people would like to offer into evidence People's Exhibits 22 and 22A based on the foundation that's been laid.
No objection.
They are so admitted.
Here at this time, we request permission to publish 22A. It is approximately 12 minutes in length, and I think that would conclude our portion of the direct for today and this week.
Okay, that should work out well. Let me get it set up then on my end.
And thank you, Aaron. With permission, can I sit down during this?
Yes.
Thank you.
It should just play, so whenever you're ready.
Does she need to stay up there?
Oh,
or just land?
All right, guys.
You're the ex.
Oh, God, no. I am not.
Stephanie, want to grab a chair?
I can do that. Chair.
Oh, I think we're going to be in this office right here.
Thank you.
And you guys know that we're not attacking you. That's really important.
We know that. I know that. Yeah.
And we've discussed that with the volunteers, that to be conscientious, just to
Yes.
encourage them to call the clerk and recorder,
Right.
check your registration, or check your ballot credits.
And no, I've told the staff, and they know that, you know, we want you to bring us this stuff. Because, you know, if it's true, we want to follow through on that. If it's something that just people don't understand, we want to clarify that too. So,
I think it's a feather in your cap if you can say, we discovered this corruption in our county and we've cleaned it up.
do you know I was going to do an audit? Do you know I was working with Chuck to do an audit?
Yeah.
And I was like this close.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't the Dominion, it was this, and I thought, well, let's hold off, let's find out what.
Yeah. Well,
but
it is. It's related. All the systems are connected.
Okay.
That's the point. You need access. So the way everything works is you inflate the registration rolls at the beginning, which gives you a big credit line. Now you don't merely inflate; you just don't have to remove too, and that will automatically. Most people, you might be an exception because you're a stickler, but there.
Can you tell them I'm like, no, this is the law? Okay, yes.
Well, almost every person or clerk or board of elections people, I've been talking to them all across the country. I show them a graph of the county and I show them who's registered. All of them, without exception so far, their jaw drops because you never look at the data that way. You're not used to seeing the graph of how many, what is the population of your county, and then how many people are registered. And it's like, everybody's registered? What? Because you never look at it that way. You don't look at the data that way. And so when I show it to them, they go, what? That can't be right, but it is. And then that's the first warning sign that you've got too many people on your registration rolls. Then the question is, in those ballots, maybe pretend, just for the sake of rhetorically, pretend these are what the real ballots were and these were the phantom ballots, okay? And then, so what I've been doing is I've been helping people find these phantom ballots. And the way you find them is pounding on doors. It's the only way I've found that really, I have software I've written that helps you narrow the lists, but you gotta pound on the doors.
Okay, so Stephanie's just coming in.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, it's wonderful to meet you. I'm trying
Hello,
to.
Stephanie.
Hello, it's nice
How
to
are
meet you.
And
I'm trying to go. Yes,
We only had 10 minutes left, so I really threw a lot.
I was like, okay, I'm trying to get there.
So do you want to just kind of bring her up to speed a little bit about what we've...
What do you do?
I am the elections manager for the front office, so registration is my key thing.
Okay, so if you guys, I would be glad to help you. I've been going around the country helping lots of people, and Mike Riddell pays me to do that. Okay, so you don't have to pay me, right? If you gave me your database to show the voting history on every person, because I know you have it, And I mean, and if you gave me the database that shows, you know, when they were registered, you don't have to tell me the birth date. Okay, fine. Just if you gave me that, I can run my algorithms on that, and I can tell you where to start looking.
Can you do that, Stephanie?
Do what?
It's just not put any PII, just, you know.
Remove the PII?
Remove the PII.
There's a report that has, it's public information. We charge people $35 for it. Somebody can come in and request it. It's voter history, so it'll list the last 5 elections that the folks have voted in. And it is public information, so it will not include our confidential voters. But it does. It has the date of the elections. It shows the date. I want to say it says registration date.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that data is out there.
Would it
It's
include
supposed to be
birth
public.
date? Would it include birth
I believe
date?
it has year of birth.
Oh, year of birth.
but
That's
not-
close enough.
That's
Yeah.
close enough.
I don't need
Okay.
their birthday.
Yeah, we could pull that.
And then if I had that complete listing, and I know you have some Jane Does that, you know, like they're molested or
If I gave you
officers or
$35
judges.
right now, how long would it take
And
to
as
get
long
a
as that's a
copy?
small percentage, I don't really care about it.
On a
The
member's
confidential voters?
Yeah, I mean, do you know what percentage they are?
I don't know here
So I
off
get
the
a
top of my
few
head.
percent.
It's
Yeah.
Something else.
not.
And I could download it. I could download it.
People here.
Yeah, it's a
We don't-
security
I don't
thing,
think
so
we
we
have
won't
a
take somebody's
huge
number.
If it's a,
I don't think
if it's
so.
a
Oh,
Potential
okay.
voters.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
We're not talking thousands.
No, we're not interested. And not, you know, those are people we want to protect anyway. So I'm not even interested,
Yeah.
right? Let's just give them a pass.
Yeah.
But if we had the rest of the database, we could look at that, and I could help you find some of your phantom
Well,
voters,
before we
right?
leave here today, I'm giving her $35, and then she's
I was
going
just gonna say
to
already, you
she's
attacked
going to
us doing this now.
upload the
Yeah, and they give you give us a link that we
and then
download, right?
and I'll down and
It's
we
actually
get
a
it.
report and it comes out in an Excel spreadsheet.
Right,
Beautiful.
that's what he wants.
It'll have about 104,000 lines in it.
Yes, we'll have quite a few in there for you.
To get back, do you want to walk over to elections and pull that up? Can we do that now for
The
them?
only other thing I wondered about
It's
was
the
the
It
tabulator.
will take a long time to.
Yeah.
Oh, it will be, okay.
I just need to pay you.
She's the Dominion
Yes.
person, so you were going to ask her about the tabulator.
The tabulator on the Dominion machine. How does that communicate with the state?
It doesn't.
How do
It
we
does.
know
It
that?
itself doesn't. So all of the reports and whatnot that come off of that, I actually load onto a flash drive. So it's a flash drive that's been formatted before it's never touched an internet machine or anything. I go over, I load it onto the flash drive off of the Dominion with the reports, and then I go over and I upload it to their ENR site on my other computer, on the county computer.
You put ENR, you have
Yeah.
the election night reporting.
Yeah, the reporting, all of that,
How often
all
do
of
you do
that
that during the day?
information. Let's see, we don't, on election day, we don't upload until 7 o'clock.
So how do we know who's voted in the middle of the day?
We have voter credit that's done through
When
school.
somebody checks in or
So
or
it's in-
ballot is processed,
Yeah.
it's marked in the system.
We don't know who's winning, any of that stuff prior to 7 o'clock. That's when it all gets uploaded to the ENR site, and then is published by the state. And then after that, it's every couple of hours, we'll update it.
I don't know which model number you have. Did you see the Michigan case, the interim Michigan case that I witnessed on with DePerno? Because he was given full ability to audit the machines, and he took the cover off, and the cell phone card is right there.
Oh,
Can you look inside of ours?
No.
And see?
It's against the law
It
because you
is.
signed a contract.
Okay, all right.
Well, and even if it wasn't, it would void the,
It would have to start all over
It would
again.
void the,
Trusted build.
the trusted build.
Oh.
Okay.
You guys have
All right.
signed a contract with Dominion. I know, I've read them.
Right.
That says that you promise you don't get access to the code, you don't get access to opening inside. You're basically just trusting them.
We are, she told me today, we're going to work on only having that.
The passwords and
Yeah.
stuff. So all of the, when I took over back there, I can only attest to
Well, this is
what's
I love how
happened
careful they are.
since I took over.
People, every person I've ever met like this, they're all patriots. They're all really paying attention, and this is why I'm so concerned, because you guys are patriots. You work your butt off to try to make everything so secure, but I'm telling you, they're getting through.
With
And so
our
we
system.
gotta.
Yeah. And with, I can tell you, since I took over, because I don't know how things were handled prior to that, but since I took over to the equipment back there, I verified that nothing is connected to any data streams. Zero.
Did you use an electronic meter and frequency analyzer to see if there's anything being transmitted from it?
But I have looked through the settings, and there is no Wi-Fi access as far as I can tell.
Neither did they in Trump County.
Cell phone. They use cell
I can only
phone, right?
do so much, but
They
as
use
far as I
cell
can tell,
spectrum. They use
I
cell
did
spectrum.
look to make sure
Instead
that
of
there was no
Wi-Fi, so you
Wi-Fi or
can't detect it.
Bluetooth or anything like
So you
that
can have no
accessible on that
Wi-Fi,
equipment.
no Ethernet.
It is not connected to any
But in
dashboard. It
Antrim,
has
they-
not been since
You open
I took over.
that's what
All
they
of the
discovered in
passwords were
Antrim.
immediately
You
changed on
they
all
got
of
a
the
subpoena.
equipment.
Open the machine.
The only way you can know is open the machine and look at the
Yeah,
chips.
and that's not something that we can do.
You're not allowed to.
On
That's
May
the plan.
26th
No, I
or
think it was
27th, when
in
they cut
Antrim. Well, he would know because he's involved in
The
case.
plan, as far as I know, they're updating the software.
Are they gonna open the machine?
Okay.
I don't
okay.
think so.
So here,
Not as far as I know.
So I was getting ready to ask him to come back.
Sean has all this stuff.
I was talking about, because
Wait, my brain's going a million
I know.
miles, but you're talking about this chip or something that could change. That's what you're talking about. It would change the results. Is that what you're thinking?
I think any machine that changes results is too easy to catch.
So how would it
it would transmit. So
Transmit
it's a transmitter.
information.
Telling you
Like
how
a
many
cell
votes
phone
have gone
signal
for
is
who.
what.
Oh.
Right.
So he's thinking
Right.
that there's a
Hey, you wanna
transmitter or
come in
something
May?
inside.
Here's a person who works with this every day, and they have never thought of that. And that's exactly.
And she's super
and she's super
Dr. Frank,
aggressive.
what type of machines were they using in Antrim?
I thought it was
County-
ESS
in Antrim?
Park.
In Antrim?
Yes, and Dominion.
Oh, it
And-
was
oh, and
Dominion
Oh
too?
yeah, they took the cover off, and there's the board right there.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so,
That's why this is such a
I'm
big
gonna
thing.
step out on a limb. You wanna come May 26th?
They're doing an audit here. They're gonna wipe the machines.
Well, they're
Well,
not
no,
gonna
they're
wipe
doing
the
an
machine.
upgrade.
Oh, this would be my offer to you.
Upgrade the machine. Sorry.
This is my
Mine
opinion.
that I
No,
heard
yeah,
wipe.
yeah, yeah. And they're probably not doing
You're-
anything that.
I don't think I'm your guy to do that audit, but I know the team, and they'll do it for you.
All right.
And they'll come in with the best in the country.
Okay, well, listen, so.
And because we're practiced at this now.
It's okay.
And this is.
Randy might have to leave right
This-
now while we talk about
Yeah,
this.
if you talk about this, I might have to go out.
All right. Why don't
Okay.
you leave while we talk about it?
Why?
Because she can't
Oh,
hear
conflict. A
Yeah.
conflict.
Yeah.
That's
You
all.
guys are such, you guys are
Sorry.
very,
Yeah?
thank you. No, thank you for
It's
that.
very nice to meet you.
Thanks. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for your help.
Later, Stephanie, you might need to walk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can handle that too.
I'm sorry. You can talk.
It was nice meeting you. Thank you for coming in.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's actually making kind of sense, but so I recorded it and put it on my launch.
Your Honor, with permission of the court, just a handful of questions, then we'll stop.
Sure. I said 4:30, so we have a few minutes.
Thank you. Ms. Winholt, the male voice who was dominating the conversation, who was that?
That was Dr. Frank.
And who was the person that suggested to Brandy that she has to go?
That was Tina Peters.
And did Tina Peters say anything to you regarding you terminating your time in the meeting?
Yes, she also asked me to leave too.
Did you leave?
Yes, I did.
Did Brandy Bance leave?
Yes, she did.
Did everybody else remain?
Yes, they did.
Who asked Dr. Frank if he wanted to come on May 26th?
That was Tina Peters.
You know, I think that's a nice breaking point for today. We'll reconvene on Monday morning at the time set by the court.
All right. That's going to conclude the week. It's been a long one for all of you and everyone involved. Most importantly, I hope you have a good weekend. It's going to be a couple of days, 72 hours or so before we get back in here, and you're going to see your family, see friends, see more people than perhaps you see during the week. So that admonishment I've given you is just as applicable now as it ever has been, and it's probably going to be a little bit more important to make sure you're mindful of it. Don't discuss the case amongst yourselves or with anyone else. Do not form or express any opinions. You've got time on your hands now, more so than you've had for the past few days, so don't do any research about this case. The individuals we've spoken about, anyone who's testified this type of case, anything like that, don't go to any of the locations that we've discussed over the course of the few days either. Most importantly, like I said, have a good weekend. We're going to start at 9 a.m. on Monday. I'm hopeful that we'll get going just about on time. Let me just take a look and confirm that I think that's most realistic. we may be a few minutes late, but I think I'd rather have you here ready to go at 9 in the event that we're able to start early on Monday like we were today. Anything else we need to address before we break, Mr. Shapiro?
Just that Ms. Wenholtz is still under subpoena, and we'll see her at 9 a.m. on Monday.
Okay, Mr. Case, anything else we need to address before we break?
With the court after the jury leaves, yes.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all very much. Have a good rest of your day and a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Ms. Wenholtz, you're free to go. We'll see you on Monday, however.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Mr. Administrator?
I don't have a CD player on the computer.
Do you have a brand new one? Do you have one, thumb drive one?
Oh, you have a clean one?
Yeah, a clean one. Just give us a clean one. We'll stick it on there.
Go ahead and take a seat, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Judge, I did have one very brief sort of scheduling matter to
Well, it looks
address
like
with court
the
before we
defense
go.
may have something too, so that's okay. What's up, Mr. Rubenstein?
I was just, for witness scheduling purposes, you mentioned it's possible it would be a little late, 9 a.m. Monday morning. I'm not worried about that, but you had also mentioned sometimes you need to break early as far as number of witnesses we might have. Do you know if you have anything Monday afternoon?
I do have a sentencing hearing set at 4:15.
4:15, okay.
That's not hard and fast, though, so I don't know how much I'm helping you by telling you this. I can do that sentencing hearing at 4:30. They can just wait.
Yeah, so if you're still planning on you doing it, but it might get pushed back till 4:30, I can plan around that. Thank you.
Okay.
That's all I need.
Mr. Case?
Yes, Your Honor, we don't have a copy of 22A. I know it was provided to prior counsel, but somewhere in the transfer of boxes, and we don't have it. So the government.
You don't have it or you
has-
don't know where it is? One of those two.
It's somewhere.
Okay.
Well, I don't have it.
And
So the government has agreed if we provide them with a clean thumb drive, they'll put 22A on the thumb drive for us. And I wanted the court to know that because we'll be playing that exhibit back in the cross-examination of the witness.
Sure. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
I'll also note that while I was up here, I was able to multitask and do a little bit of research. The case Nelson v. Chittenden, it's quite old, from the Colorado Supreme Court, specifically states that an attorney is an extension of a party and cannot effectuate service by way of a subpoena. The case was cited with some approval in People in the Interest of TG, 849 Pacific 2nd, 843. In that case, the question was whether an employee of an attorney could effectuate service. That case stood for the proposition that yes, an employee of an attorney could, but then cited, of course, to the case I just mentioned, Nelson v. Chittenden, for the proposition that the attorney, however, cannot. So at this time, the affected service by Mr. Case on Mr. Wood would be ineffective unless there's unless there's some additional case law or argument you want to make on that, which we can do on Monday.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a good rest of your weekend. Oh, yeah, sure.
Do you have anybody coming in?
Lots of people.
I mean, on Monday morning?
Yeah. I got 3 cases before 9 a.m. Yeah.
Okay, so what time do you guys want to? Yeah.